Three, two, one.
Hello and welcome everyone to another episode on Kezi TV. My name is Mirka Kasena and I am going to be your announcer for today. So today we are going to be discussing love in the past versus love in the 21st century. This is a podcast where we dive into how love, dating, and relationship have evolved over time, from the influence of tradition, culture, religion, and society norms in the past century. Thank you all for being here and don't be afraid to share your opinion. Mary Dean from Kansas, USA, Wisdom Anthony from Melbourne, Australia, and the Great Onos. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening. How are you?
I'm good, Mary. Nice to have you.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah. That was lovely. Yeah, good to have you. We also have Mary from Canada, and yeah, welcome aboard, Mary.
Hi, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you very well.
Okay, that's good then. I've been wondering if anyone could hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you very well.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. So in today's discussion, we're going to discuss about how love in the past and love in the 21st century, how the society, religion have influenced love at the moment, if we see it improving or we see it declining. So what is your thought?
I mean, it's gonna be hard to say which is better, right? Because
Yeah,
better is different thing, right? This varies for different people. Because in the past, relationship was based more on like, family commitment. A man that wants to marry would go and seek out a woman and let the family know. They do all this co-pairing. Parents would be like, "Oh, you marry this girl based on the status of the family. Does she have money?" It's arranged, and these people come and live together. They are committed to stay in that relationship. Marriage was and divorce was frowned upon, right? So they had to stay in the marriage whether they were happy or not, whether they were compatible with these people or not. So we could say that they had more like longer marriages. But are we gonna say they are healthy marriages? I can say that I can say because a lot of people too stayed in unhealthy relationship just because of societal norms, because of religion and all this stuff. So they couldn't,
yeah,
pull out happy marriage. Whereas the current status quo now is people, match, get married, go into relationship based on love. Do I like her? Do we have the same interests? Right? Do we like the same
yeah,
things? What are our plans, financial goals? Like people do that now is based on choice rather than people matchmaking to people that don't know each other. And so even
yeah,
with that said now, roles have even changed. Then in the past, the man was responsible for, maybe providing and the woman was taking care of the home. Whereas now it's almost like 50-50 shared, even the norm of stay home dad is even becoming a thing now in this current society. So things have changed, and people now have more freedom, right? You have more freedom to
yeah,
marry who you I have freedom to leave the marriage. If the relationship is not successful, or you're not happy in the relationship, you can just quit. People don't really frown up. In fact, some people have had 2 to 3 divorces, right? So are we now going to say now that is a happy relationship? I can still say, right? So for everybody, it is related, right? What do you call that? But there has been changes. Obviously, I would say there has been huge changes from what was before and where we're trending now. So society,
yeah.
culture, technology, they've all, played a way in how things are changing. And the world is rapidly changing. Every 5 years, things we used to hold value to will probably even lose value in the next 5 years. It's changing at a rapid pace right now. So who knows? Maybe 10, 50 years from now, people won't even consider having a long-term relationship. They might just be like, let's be casual dating and or just, pay somebody to have babies for you and all of that. Like, I hope that is not what society will lead, but I wouldn't be surprised. So,
Wow, that was awesome.
okay.
So, will you say like maybe it's getting better or it's getting worse compared to how it used to be in the past?
I try to run away from answering that question. That's why I said, like, it's going to be hard for us to.
Yeah, uh, yeah. What I'm okay, even though you single at the moment, but we all come up from a home where we witness the love between our parents,
Mhm.
and yeah, we can use that to actually compare and be able to say something how it was during the time of our parents and what we are seeing in the society at the moment. Yeah,
I mean, during the time of our parents, right? I wouldn't say it was really better, but there were values that they treasured, right? There were values that they
yeah,
treasured, and people respected the male and the female. Like, okay, the woman is responsible for this, the man was. So there was an expectation, right? So people were
mm,
living based on expectation. Now, in terms of people being happy in the marriage, I don't think that is entirely true. I think a lot of the women stayed in the marriage because if they were to leave an unhappy marriage, especially it was against the women, if they
yeah,
were to divorce their spouse, they would lose financial status because most of them are not even working. They were just at home taking care and they weren't even educated and all of that. So divorce was a thing that it was it wasn't like it wouldn't work for a woman to decide to want to live an unhappy marriage, right? So because of that, so
mm,
many men, stayed in these unhappy marriages, right? And just because they had kids, they can go anywhere, they can provide for themselves. Society, the stigmatization that's going on. What would happen to me? Who is going to marry me? Most people couldn't even get remarried during that time. So because of that, they stayed in unhappy. Even the men as well. Some men probably were matched with a woman that with time they still could not even love her or be committed in that relationship, but they also had to stay, they had to provide. So I would say
yeah,
there were a lot of unhappy folks or unhappy people in relationship there that just had to be there just because of societal norms, because of religion and all of that. But currently now, yes, people are now in a relationship that they've made the choices to be in a relationship, right? But will I
yeah,
say they're happy? Some people are happy, some people are not happy. And the ones that are not happy, some of them try to have a divorce, some don't have a divorce, some stay. So, like I said, it's going to be hard to say, but what I would just say that if it's for divorce rates is even higher now. Even now, we make
yeah,
the choice, right? We make choices.
yeah,
We choose the person we want to marry. It's not based on our parents telling us who to marry or society telling us who to marry. We marry based on this is the person we prefer. This is the person we think we connect with better because of love and all of that. But still, divorce
yeah,
is on, right? So is that now a good thing, even though now we're making those choices? I can't say for certain. Yes, it looks like somehow we're not making the right choices, right? Giving this opportunity to make the choice since the divorce rate is high. However, However, some people will say they are more happy in a relationship, and if they are not in that relationship, they're not happy in that relationship, they can move on to another relationship and find happiness. So happiness is what is the norm now for this current society. You keep hearing mental health, right? Your mental health
yeah,
has to be stable. This is the new word that's flying everywhere now. Oh, if person is not giving you happiness, please go. Please don't live your life, right? Life is too short, right? So people are not willing to fight. Yeah, that's another thing. People are not willing to fight for anything these days. Once it's broken to them, it is broken. So they just leave and
yeah,
go on to the next one. But we should all know that it's not green on the other side, right? It's not always green on the other side. So we should try and put in the effort, right? So divorce now, it's really on the high rate. It's skyrocketing. It's
mm,
getting scary. Like I said before, people
yeah,
if it's 10, 50 years from now, 50, 100 years from now, a lot of people will not even want to get married anymore, or be in a long lasting relationship. They might just want to have like mutual friends or friends with benefits, right? And
mm,
some people are even shying away from having kids this way these days. You go on the internet, you be like, I'm 42, I'm 45, I'm single, no kids, no, they like the life and norms that we know are changing, right? They're changing every day, and
mm.
people are just like, if this makes me happy, that is what I want to do. People don't care about
Yeah,
value, about religion, about what anybody will say. People just choose to do themselves and choose to live their life.
yeah,
So rate at which this is going, it looks good, but it's also scary because most of the things that we know and value, from the very beginning, they just phase away. And like even now, people are having AI bots as spouse. People pay money to clone someone, and the world is really changing. It is the what we understand by love, relationship, family, and all of that. It is changing, right? Parents don't even have
yeah,
control over children anymore, right? It's the government, it's the school. So things are really, really changing. So beliefs, norms are changing, and that would definitely impact relationship both positively and negatively.
yeah. That was a good one. Thank you so much, Mary. I think you have actually hit the nail on the head. Maybe last question before I will let you go. In your own opinion, do you think technology have helped or ruled the way love used to be?
I would think technology, in a way, yes and no, right? I think everything has whatever has a bad side has a good side. That is my opinion, right? And I mean, that is
Yeah, yeah,
right. If something is bad, there's obviously something about it that is good. So technology is good right now. So now it's easy to communicate, right? I can call someone over the phone. I mean, you're in Australia now. I'm here in Canada, and we're communicating. Before then, it's going to be impossible for this to happen. We have to be on the same location. Now technology has given people
yeah,
that communicate via video calls, making it seem as though they are not far apart and bringing them closer, right? So, which is a good thing because, back
yeah,
then people letters and it would take months for the letter to receive. It has its own good side for that letter. I'll come to that. But now it's just easier for you to communicate. Now, current society now, it's easier if you are the shy person or you don't know how to go at, you can just go on dating sites to find someone. You swipe through Bumble. There are tons and lots of them. If you're ever looking for a Christian dating app, there's so many
yeah,
of you could choose from, and so many people have found their soulmate or their partners from there. So that is also a plus, right, for where
yeah,
technology is, right now. On the flip side, where technology is not bad now that communication, now it's easier for you to find somebody on Bumble. People take advantage of that to just start cheating and not look for anything because it's just easy for you to swipe left or right and find somebody. So I can be talking like to like 20, 30 people at the same time, and just be
mm,
catching on. Instead of me having meaningful conversation or commitment, I would now be focused more on, who, especially for maybe some men, it's easier for them to just date multiple girls. They have access to them on the internet. It's just easy to just keep chatting to them. But whereas before, you send one letter, it takes like 2, 3 months for that letter to come. Whilst you're even waiting, it helps you build that commitment that you're waiting to see what is the response. Your mind is fixated on that person. That was one of the beautiful and positive things about letters, right? That we had
yeah,
then. No longer now. You write a love letter, you send it, you're anticipating for the response. But now we don't have that. Someone send you a chat in a
mm,
few
mm,
seconds, you get the response back, right? And to you,
yeah,
it may not mean anything. So in that way, that's where technology has, affected us so much. Then you have the social media where everybody now goes on Instagram to portray some type of relationship. And if that is not your relationship, you have this anxiety that, oh, maybe your partner doesn't love you as much. This is Valentine. Obviously, now the whole world, people are posting their Valentines, posting pictures, doing this and that. I mean, those can say that. I mean, in some extent, yeah, it is good. But if people live their life based on all that, it can really impact them because some of them are true and some of them are not true. A lot of people, live fake lives outside, and they try to portray to the society this is how it should be. If your husband or your wife is not doing this to you, then you're not loved, right? So some people get into that thought and
mm,
it really impacts their
yeah,
mental health. It affects relationship. Oh, you're not posting me like he's posting her. You're not treating me like she's treating him. So comparison stuff like that. Society has now made the internet has made that comparison affect relationship now. So that is also its downside. So there are goods and bad for it. I think for me, I would say maybe one for the good part, especially for long distance relationship, is not easy for people to meet
Yeah.
somewhere in another country, communicate, build that relationship, before they actually meet and see it helps. Right. So I would say for there, technology has actually really helped, but also it has its disadvantages that we need to consider.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Mary. Uh, Maybe one more question. Sorry about that.
But that's
My last question. Okay, how has religion impacted today's love?
I mean, religion, society right now, current modern technology and time, with everything that's going on, religion is changing, right? Religion is changing. So in fact, when I was in Nigeria, the grace what we had in Nigeria and what we had now is different, right? Even growing up, I couldn't wear trousers, pants as a lady, but now it's just
Yeah,
nothing I could wear, right? Because the church
yeah,
frowned upon men are not supposed to wear, but now excuse me, even in Nigeria, people wear
right,
trousers to churches, right? So that's one, but that's just personal, right? Now bring it to
yeah,
relationship. A relationship before it was abstinence before marriage. You don't have to have sex. Church could frown upon it. They could even end the marriage, right? If they know that the two people have been intimate before, getting married. But now it's not even the thing. People even get married, full blown pregnancy, and the church will just have to wed them. The church is now, I mean, so many things that the churches would say no to, they just, they frown upon it now. Even divorce is on a high rate. Church will even tell you if it's not working, go, they marry somebody else again. So it is changing, right? It is the current
yeah,
time. Religion has really changed. Some people will say Christianity has watered down. I don't want to go into some gray areas, a sensitive topic, but it has really grained down. I think the church or religion is trying to be acceptance, because I think the more they try to stay by their old rules and norms, they're going to lose a lot of people. So I think that's the angle I believe religion is going into, to see, okay, how can we be more welcoming, right? Regardless of all of, because
yeah.
times are changing. I read a book that the world is changing every 5 years, but Christianity, religion is changing every 20 years. So for every five
Wow.
years change, Christianity is taking 20 years. So they are way
Yeah,
right, the current world. And I don't blame them because they have a reason, but they are forced to. They are forced into doing this thing. They'll be like, okay, I think at some point we have to. If not, people would think that. So with religion is it's a very difficult topic. It's a very gray area, but it's really
yeah,
affecting the churches now, even pushing for more, you are happy in a relationship. They try to see how you guys are more compatible, how you love each other, than what it used to be on before. That, okay, marriage is man and woman coming together, making babies, commitment, husband taking care of the wife, and that. No, it's now more of how compatible are you guys in, and if this thing cannot even work, then if you're going to kill yourself or whatever, just find a way and dissolve the marriage. So they're not a bit lenient right now with a lot of things I'm welcoming with different circumstances and approaches. They are not as stringent they would used to be in the past. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? I can't really say for certain. I wouldn't say the church has really played an impact in making people diverse or increasing the rate of divorce or non-commitment. But what I would say is that they are actually seeing how they can make people, in my opinion, live a
yeah,
more life. But that can
yeah.
wait some. Oh, if it doesn't work, then you find your way else or somewhere else. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna pick one or two things from what I've just said. That the world is revolving every 5 years, and religion is behind. And in your own opinion, do you think religion is a bit behind? And what award do you think religions can actually put in place to a bit uh, to meet up with the world revolution?
No, that is a great topic, right? That is a very, very great topic. First of all, if for example, Christians, Christians are not supposed to be living the worldly life, right? We're not supposed to
Yeah.
be in the way the world is living, right? We are
Yeah.
supposed to be in a godly kingdom life. That is what we are called to. So on a normal day, we are not supposed to allow the pressure. Religion is not supposed to allow the pressure of the society force them
So
into society. But
yeah.
because they feel that they are losing relevance, they can't find a better way to keep their norms and their culture. They are forced into moving along with the society, moving along with the
The
present time.
society.
Yes, which most of the time, say for example, as a Christian, that would be going against God's will. That's being going
Mm,
against
mm,
God's
mm, mm.
will. But tell you,
Yeah.
oh, God is, oh, God is all this, God is all that. So because of that, I think it's better. Let's do this, because if we don't do this, I mean, they have a very selling point too, right? Because if you say
Mm.
no, no, no all the time, you don't know the opportunities you are missing. There's so many souls that could have been saved, right? So okay, let's bring them in. Let's see how to be more flexible. Let's act like people of the word and see whether it's, even some churches now are practicing Halloween. You go to some churches, you will
Yeah.
see Halloween stuff, just also that they are like, oh, we're welcome. You can come here as well and practice, Halloween. You can
Mm.
come here also and do da 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 da, like what the society and what the other worlds are doing. Even gay marriage is a very sensitive topic for some churches. Some churches have
Yeah.
accepted, churches have not accepted it because they feel like, so these are very, like, when the church is trying to act like the society or behave or move with them, to some of
Yeah.
the most of the time they'll be
Yeah.
going against the will of that religion, because society and religion are two kind of distinct. Even like when you need to talk about politics, they are different, right? It's the way of life. It's the
Yeah.
way, for example, as a Christian, the way of right. This is Christ's life. Christ's life are very different from the earthly life, from the societal life. But if you want to choose,
Um,
join, but they are mostly somehow they don't know, and this thing happens because it's over time as time is going, just like world is changing every 5 years, society, church Christian is taking every 20 years, right? With time, the things that we thought that were bad or things that were not good, your mind will become to start accepting it, because you're not seeing it that everybody's doing it. So what could possibly go wrong? What could possibly be bad
mm,
about? So that's how most of
mm,
the church is now influenced to start accepting this thing. But they have taken a lot of time to debate and decide, and they see the rate at which the society is even acceptance of it. Like this thing is not even an issue anymore. So why? Just like the trouser, like I made example, it's not even an issue anymore. So almost all churches now are accepting it. Women can just wear trousers to church, and that is fine. But it took years for them to come to that. It took years for them to say, oh yeah,
mm.
they go into debate and say, oh, okay, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Oh, what if a woman is in the UK or in Canada, it's snowing, do you expect her to wear a skirt? It doesn't make sense, right? So they go look into scholars who come and be like, oh, I don't think it's a body, it's a spirit. So there's so many things that they put into thinking and thought for them to come to this conclusion and start accepting some of the norms of the society and say, okay, we don't think this is as bad as we think. I mean, this can even be good, right? So for religion, very gray area, very sensitive topic. Something a lot of people try to stay away from because you don't want to air your
Exactly.
based
Yeah.
on,
Yeah. So
yeah.
many people are told, yeah, they don't really want to come up for some reason. Yeah, but that is up to them. But the thing is, the truth have to be told. Not everybody is going to believe the truth, and those that, yeah, they will have the touch of God. They will believe the truth, and yeah, that will keep them going. But it's a thing that so many people don't really want to talk about. Because I have a session last week, and the topic was: is it right for a music minister to minister in a church of God? And I have some pastors and minister of God, around. So many of them were just trying to dodge away from the reality, because when we look into that, the truth is, so many of these things have caught as in the music minister. They take them as their career, their professor, and that is where they feed on, and that is also where they have to look after their family and so many other things, you know. And again, from the pastor's perspective, yeah, they will say, oh, they don't have to because they are caught into that, you know. So it's a broad topic that people really don't want to see the fact about.
Yeah,
So,
money is another. this topic to discuss in any religious gathering.
Yes, yes. We'll be waiting for Bra Wisdom because he had he, yeah, he went out, he had an appointment and he was on his way home. I believe I will still have another session with him and yeah, we'll get back to you. I hope to have you again, Sister Mary.
Okay, that's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Thank
thank you so much for honoring our invitation and we're looking forward to have you once again. I will
you.
say good night.
Thank you.